I work a full-time job, have two businesses, and still put out a video a week for this channel. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on how that is done with the tools that I have, the equipment that I'm using, and the editor that I'm paying, and what it costs to get all of this to run. Hey guys, it's Kerry, and last week we talked about me getting married and how the courthouse wedding we had in November ended up saving us thousands on taxes, and how me getting married completely changed our financial plan. But while we had this going on, I had the real estate business, the brick business, the freelancing, and getting married. I also decided to make a decision to go ahead and move forward with creating this channel that you see. So today, the whole point of this channel is to document this journey. And this episode is really dedicated to how this channel is built, the equipment, the editor, and the AI workflow that I'm using behind the scenes, and what it actually cost me to run this channel. So after this, we'll be completely caught up to what I'm doing today. So let's go ahead and hop into it. So I've been on my financial journey for a little over 4 years, and I've done things like freelancing, building my own business. I got into financial planning, I got into real estate, and I realized this is something that probably can help other people, and it's a story worth telling. And the thing that I'm seeing on YouTube is that I don't really see people showing the behind the scenes. If so, it's not very popular. I don't see very many channels. And I think this is a great opportunity for me to be able to grow a community, to help others learn and others see a way to build their own paths toward financial freedom. And honestly, I just wanted to also have a place to be transparent about the things that I'm doing, what's working and what's not. With that in mind, I decided to go ahead and give it a try in December of 2025, ended up posting in mid-January. And honestly, to even get started with that, I had to figure out the plan on how I wanted to move forward. First things first, to move forward, I need to go ahead and have some equipment to record on, along with some sound equipment to be able to have my voice come through as well. So I didn't actually go out to buy a camera for this, or in particular for this, just because looking at it, like our phones today have pretty good cameras, and I'm pretty close up, which our phones are pretty good at doing. So I decided to use my current phone, which is a Galaxy S24 Ultra. Other than that, I went ahead and made a few other purchases, which my phone technically wasn't directly related to this channel. But in December 2025, I went ahead and purchased, it's called the Rode PodMic USB, which is 196. And then I had the Rode PSA 1 Plus Studio Arm, which is $129. And then I had the lights. So the lights for this channel, I have two lights. They're called the newer 13-inch LED light panels, the 2-pack with the tripod stands, and it cost me $113 for both. They're adjustable, and I can also adjust the temperature of the lights as well. And then I also have a newer 77-inch camera tripod, and I also had the metal foam tripod mount. So the tripod mount itself is particularly just to hold my phone, because the actual tripod itself is meant for a camera, so we need something that interfaces with the mount for the actual camera itself. And it's interesting because when I first got the mic, my editor and we were really just talking about it, because I was talking it and testing it, and I was like, dude, this is not working. Like, the sound is not sounding all that good. It's sounding worse than my phone. What's going on? And he's telling me it's user error. You definitely are using it wrong. And I'm like, dude, no, I'm not. You just plug it into your phone. You change there's one setting on it really that's called the gain, which is basically how loud the mic is. And you change that around. But I just left it where it was. And I was like, dude, you gotta come try this out. He comes to my house, he tries it out, and he's like, oh, you know what? You're right. It actually is broken. So I went ahead and got that replaced. There was no issues there since I got on Amazon. They're pretty good with replacements. And the second thing that happened for me is that the mic arm, I bought it new because I was like, I want to have a good product. And when I got it, the package was ripped. So I was looking at it like, well, I didn't pay new prices for a used product. So I went ahead and negotiated with them to get me $22 off. So in total, everything comes to $510 after that refund and after taxes. And that's the entire setup that I have going on here. Everything else that I already have, like my chair, my desk, and all of this good stuff, is already stuff I would have had anyway because I work from home. Now onto my editor himself. So my editor is actually my best friend, Aaron. And the reason I trusted him is not just because he's my best friend, but because I've seen his work actually through several other occasions. So he not filmed, but he actually went through and photographed, I'm over here forgetting the word, but he shot and edited some of the photos from my engagement. He also shot and edited the photos from my courthouse wedding as well, and those all came out well. And then on top of that, he's been doing similar work for other, similar work part-time in the studio with other clients. And then he's also had like one-off projects that I've been able to hear about that he's done for clients that he had great feedback on. So I decided to work with him for this channel because I feel like it was a great fit to be able to take advantage of something that he's already great at, and that I was able to work out a deal with him. So of course, I'm always going to tell you the cost. The cost of that was $700 a month. Now this comes with one long form video that you're seeing on YouTube, and then 3 shorts that you will see on my social medias that I post really every other day, except the day I go silent before I drop a next video on the following day. And for me, it's worth it because the thing that I'm not good at, and I'm not even gonna try to be good at, is editing a video or trying to do any of that overlay that needs to be done. And it's something that instead of me learning it and trying to develop a new skill that's gonna take away time for me to be able to use my skill that I already have to generate me money, since I already have money coming in from my freelance, I might as well use this to my advantage to be able to save myself time and give it to somebody who's an expert at what they do to give you guys the best content that I could possibly give you. And with that, it's always been kind of a theme. This theme's always kind of stick on my channel until I tell you that it's not going to work anymore, and I'll give you the reason why. But this theme is just to always be able to delegate tasks to somebody who's vetted for you to be able to do this task for you instead of you burning your own time when your time could be better spent elsewhere. Now, here's where we get to the good part of the episode. So I'm going to take you a little bit behind the scenes on how I use Claude, which is my AI software that I've used for code writing to actually help me with this channel. So the part that you've seen, obviously like the editing that Aaron does, me shooting the video and me talking to you, like that's done myself. But everything else, the logistics and the coordination behind that is actually handled by Claude itself. And I'm using something called Cowork. So Cowork is a new tool that Claude or Anthropic released that allows the AI agent to actually have like a folder on your machine that it's able to have access to. So this changes the game for me because normally you're just talking to the AI through a chat, and over time, if you start a new chat or the chat gets too long, context gets lost, or basically information gets lost. So this way it can actually write files to my computer and it can actually reference those later on. So I started to take advantage of this because the first thing I wanted to go ahead and do is give myself a foundation to build off of. So when I'm building off of this foundation, the first thing I kind of did was create an overall plan. So the overall plan is the first thing I kind of done to give Claude the context on what I wanted this channel to be about, the delivery patterns that I have, the topics that I want to talk about, and just how I want to present things going forward. And then it gave it a good general outline, which is also another piece that I did as well to add on to this, is I gave it an outline format that I wanted to follow whenever I'm writing episodes. In addition to that, because it will allow it to put it out in a format that I can easily read to be able to stay on task and stay on script. Well, not really script, but just stay on topic when going through these videos. And then it could fit the theme of my channel because it's reading that overall plan. The cool thing about the outline itself is I don't have to just literally give it a rigid format to follow. I can give it that, but I can also give it instructions in that same file that has the outline to be able to say, ask questions about this, ask questions about that. So a good thing that I do for myself is like, I'll tell it to ask me the specific numbers. I'll tell it to ask me the lessons or what went wrong with what I did or what went right, so that it can actually prompt me to give it the answers it needs to actually fill the outline out in a way that would represent what I want. With that in place, I decided to separate out into another file on this particular series, because right now I always title these episodes so far the catch-up series. So I have a series planned for that, in which is able to take the context from the outline, summarize it into this plan, and kind of give a coordinated overview on where I'm going next and what I already written about there. And then when I'm writing new episodes, can actually take the context from that outline to be able to fill in relevant pieces so it doesn't have to keep asking me the same questions over and over again. It just helps me really evolve things as we move forward, because now it's able to kind of learn from some of the things that I've done in the past as I give it more information and it doesn't just get lost. So what all this setup actually does for me is now that when I want to write the episodes, it allows it to kind of know already what the episode's going to be about. And then all I got to do is answer the few questions that it gives me about the fill in the blank details that it really needs for the particular episode. And as we iterate through drafts, it's literally just like me talking to a person. Oh, I don't like this, fix that. Or I don't like this, fix that. Or this is what really happened, and it fixes different things. But it's a lot quicker than me writing everything from end to end on my own to follow as an outline for what I'm doing. And it just gets better over time because of, like I said, the overall plan is able to pull from that to remember the different things that happen as we progress through time. A good example of this is in the outline, I gave it something called an editor guide, and every outline is now going to have an editor's guide that includes like section labels, the text overlays, like what assets to put on the screen, what assets I need to provide, what assets the editor needs to go ahead and grab on its own. And this allows me to send this to the editor. I send him the entire outline along with this editor guide, and he has everything that he needs. He doesn't need to guess on what needs to go where, and it saves him a bunch of time, and it saves us a bunch of time in coordination because he comes back, guesses what I want, and I have to go and tell him, no, I want it this way or want it that way. And then he has to go back and forth this negotiation process. So it's a lot smoother. And honestly, just gonna turn the camera to him for a second. So Aaron, what do you think of this? Do you think this is actually easier? What do you feel? You're gonna give me the thumbs up? Getting back on topic that I want to also put in as well is we always want to give the AI a way to improve itself. And a good way to improve itself is the feedback loop that I created. And that loop I did was me just sitting down thinking, like, the AI has no way to necessarily see how the videos are turning out that it's writing the outlines for. And one thing that I found out that was pretty cool is that the AI can actually go and look in the browser and actually click around and grab different text out of the browser. So when I was talking with Claude, I said, is there any way you can kind of watch my YouTube videos? He said, yeah. So now that I'm connected to your browser, I can go to your YouTube video and pull the transcript and actually read that and compare it to what I actually wrote for you on the outline. The cool thing about that is that kind of, I wouldn't say close the loop, but it brings the loop closer to where it can actually see the output of what it writes versus what I spoke about. And it can see things like where I ran long or where I compressed the topic it gave me into a shorter bit, or where I just talked about something different in general altogether. And it can kind of learn this. And what it does is it takes this feedback, it puts it into another document that I have called a style guide that it can actually reference to understand the style of how I speak, where I go long, where I go short. And it can use that to give better timestamps to Aaron, my editor, to make it easy for him to follow. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to improve over time to where it makes it easier for us to have an outline that's easier for me to follow, so I don't have to deviate as much, and make the timeline, not the timelines, but the timestamps a little bit closer for Aaron to be able to follow as he's going through the editor guide along with the actual outline itself. A good example that is giving me right now that I'm looking at it is that if I am talking about a story per se, or more of a quote per se on the actual like event that's going on, I'll actually expand what it gave me a little bit longer to kind of fill in the details on like how the story, how it's relevant and tied back into the thing, versus if it's giving me concrete numbers on like this cost that and this cost this, then I'll stick closer to the script. And those are one of the things that it kind of learned over time as it watches my YouTube videos by downloading the transcript. This is like one small example, but it allows me to really have it like learn over time to get better with writing, which is in turn going to help me get better with delivery. Another thing I went and added to the actual outline as a field that it needs to fill out is to go ahead and cut the shorts for me. So when it writes the outline, it actually picks out on its own the interesting sections to put into a short so that Aaron can know where to cut the shorts. And then this allows me, or really not even me, but it to actually create the captions for my different platforms ahead of time to be able to post the shorts on social media, because it knows exactly what sections are going to be cut and it knows how to summarize those up into a good caption to be able to post in these different places. And this is something that really helped save me time and Aaron time, because now I can go ahead and get all of the video from him and just paste the captions into the respective platforms and be able to post them on a schedule without having to make them up that morning when I'm trying to post. When I used to do that when I first started the channel, that is not very fun, and it's not the first thing I want to do because I try to post in the mornings, and that's just trying to write something decent in the mornings is not always like the easiest thing in the world. So this is something else that I was able to streamline just based off of doing something as simple as cut the shorts in the outline and then also write the shorts for the short captions for all of the different platforms that I have going on. Because a good example is like X only allows like I think 280 characters. Meanwhile, like TikTok and Instagram only allow like 5 hashtags. So I'm able to actually implement rules like that. So I don't even have to think about that, and I can literally just copy paste as long as it looks good to me and go ahead and post it. So to summarize my AI flow altogether, even though I'm a software engineer, I don't think you have to be an engineer by any means to be able to do this. You just need to think analytically to break this down into ways that you can give the AI the context it needs to be able to write or give you the output that you want, as well as give it a format to follow. It can follow a format really well, and if you give it the information it needs, it's also able to summarize information into those formats really, really, really well. So what I would say is, like, in my particular example, if you wanted to do content like me, the first thing you want to really do is just give it the big picture and give it the overall objective of what you're trying to do. And for me, my big picture is I'm documenting my financial journey, and here's my story and the topics that I want to cover. And then I'm also going to tell it the type of format that I wanted to follow. And that just really was it on the overall idea of what I had going on. And then secondly, for like the content, whenever I'm actually writing the content with it and it's actually creating the outline for me, I just talk to it like it's a person and actually just kind of work collaboratively with it to be able to generate the document that I want. And if I notice any efficiencies over time, then that's when I try to create those formats and those outlines and go back and tell it, hey, since we did this, let's go ahead and update the outline so I don't have to keep telling you this the next time. And then the third, and to me, one of the greatest steps that you can really take is to give it a way to be able to understand the output that it's doing. So if you're making a video, I would highly recommend you to find a way to take that finalized product and give it back into the model, or not the model, but the AI itself. And a good way to do that is, if you're doing YouTube, take the transcript. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other platforms as well that you have a transcript that you can take and you can feed that back into the model so that it can actually be able to learn from what you output versus what it gives you. And then when you kind of do this, you're able to give it more context over time. And this type of learning, or this type of like context that you give it, will actually help you improve over time. The one thing I will say is to not just slam everything at it. You want to have this kind of be summarized over time as new things come in, because you can't just give it a huge book of information every single time and expect it to keep everything in memory that's important. You want to kind of summarize them and kind of have them as a summarized report that it can pull from over time. For me, episode 1 took me forever to write the outline, and it was super duper great, but it was decent enough for me to start on a channel. And now that I'm at episode 11, my outlines are pretty good. Like, I'm spending less than like 40 minutes. I was able to doing this outline and actually using my bot that we talked about in the other episode to be able to help me write code for my client. And this is something where, even though I'm doing that at the same time, I was able to actually get this outline done really still in less than an hour, compared to me spending like 3 to 4 hours originally. And then on top of that, it's allowing me to really not only get that time back, but just to have a more streamlined process, and it can still learn how I deliver my content over time. So you don't necessarily need a full like production company, or you don't need to really source this out to people that kind of help you with writing. You can really do this yourself if you're able to help structure the way you want to do it, and you're able to create that system and move it into the AI to power. Now, again, as far as the cost of the software, it's really an Anthropic subscription, which is the company that houses Claude. I'm on the Pro plan, which is $100 a month, but the reason that I'm even on this plan is because I use it for coding, and this is just cool that I can see that I can use it for other things as well, like being able to help me write outlines for this channel and keep up with the overall objective for this channel going forward. What I'll say is, like, I think they have like a $20 plan that you can use. I don't think you really need to go as much as I did for the $100 plan, but it's just me just being upfront and honest with you guys that I'm already paying this, so that's just where it's at now. This AI part of my channel, I felt like was important to highlight because it allows me to be able to really step into a field that I'm not familiar with, which is content creation, and not need a social media manager. And the only thing I'm really doing is paying an editor. And this really allows me to step into this place and not have to actually spend a whole bunch of time. Like I'm spending time, don't get me wrong, but I'm able to still balance this with my full-time job and my 2 businesses and also with my real estate, even though I got a property manager. And it's just something that allows me to really be able to stretch out my time over different things, and really is something that helped really move this channel forward and make it sustainable to be able to keep it long term. What I'll also add on top of that is that I really do believe that anybody can do this. Like, I don't think we're in a part of the world now where you have to be somebody like me, a software engineer, to be able to take advantage of these things. If you are confused on how to use it, literally just ask the AI, what is the best way that you can help me achieve this goal? And I promise you can get there. I don't really think you have to be technical, and I'm really glad the barrier is pretty much gone. So I just highly recommend anybody just go out there and ask the question to these tools and be able to see if they can help you streamline your process. To tie the cost all together in one place for you, I am paying the editor $700 a month, and that includes the 1 long form video that you're watching now, and then the 3 shorts, and that comes every week. And then on top of that, I have the Claude subscription, which I am paying for through my freelance company or freelancing like contract. But even then, I'm still using it, so it is something I want to include here. And then other than that, I really had a starter cost of $510, and that's pretty much it. So all I needed to start this channel. So I just wanted you to be able to know, over the last 11 episodes, including this one, you've seen my entire financial journey, from graduating college to buying a Tesla when I didn't even know how to budget, to 2 real estate properties, starting a business, finding a freelance client, getting a financial advisor, and also getting married. I've shown you the real numbers, the wins, the losses. For example, the rental property is not cash flow positive, but it is earning equity. Meanwhile, the brick business is $15,000 in the hole with only getting me $68 in revenue. The freelance client is the thing that really helped change everything for me. And then the marriage that also just completely shifted my financial strategy, or really just my financial plan. None of this is polished though. None of this is exactly where I want to be right now, but that's the point, is to show you this journey raw, uncut, and just to be able to bring you guys the actual truth on how things are going. Starting next week, everything will be pretty much real time. We are not catching up anymore. We're pretty much caught up to all of the events that I have going on so far. So everything that you're going to be seeing going forward is going to be pretty recent events. And then I'm also starting a new series called The Plan, in which you're able to actually see the full picture. So the first thing I want to go ahead and do is just go over the results of 2025, to have a full financial snapshot, the strategy I had, and the full financial picture, along with getting into how that's changing for 2026. Next week is when we're really going to go over that. So we're going to be wrapping up 2025 with the year in review. And then I'm going to break down everything from like my income to like my expenses, to bringing that full financial picture once again across everything, like even with my W-2, the rental, the brick business, freelancing, and my advisor, along with the wedding, and just putting that all in one cohesive place. So if you've been watching since like episode 1, this is pretty much a pretty good summary of what we've done so far. This is your very first episode, then I think next episode will be a really great way to kind of see everything all together and give you the context, the full context, where you can go find the deep dives into the previous episodes. As usual, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Are you documenting your financial journey or thinking about starting it? If you haven't started it or don't want to start it, why not? I think everybody's story is worth telling. But as usual, I'll see you guys next week. Mickey's Financial Journey YouTube channel. I stuttered on that one, but hey, we still going out. Peace.